going on, guys? Oh, you're gonna. No, go ahead. I didn't want a podium up here, but all right. Well, thanks for coming. It's occurred to me there must be some sort of thing that people do on the internet where they communicate really quickly, because everybody found out about this in a hurry, Twitter or something. Anyway, so I'm stepping away from. I'll use this. Is this on? Yep. Either way. All right. So I'm stepping away from full-time driving in the Cup Series, and I'm not taking any questions, so thanks for coming.
On January 11th, 2017, Carl Edwards did the unthinkable in announcing his retirement from NASCAR. While some diehard Edwards fans were understandably angry, most of us NASCAR fans in general were just plain confused. It made no sense. He had just been moments away from a championship, and he was in the prime of his career. Hell, he even took 2017 promo shoots. So, while it made no sense at the time, it didn't stop us all from thinking, what if? What if Carl Edwards never retired in 2017? And I think it's one of the greatest what-if scenarios in recent NASCAR memory. So, let's look into it. Starting out, the biggest change is that Edwards would pilot the number 19 Toyota in 2017 instead of Daniel Suarez. The ripple effect of this would be that Suarez's career to Cup would not be rushed up like it actually was in 2017. In 2017, you have to think that Edwards would have been pretty competitive. That season saw Busch have 5 wins, Hamlin have 2, and Matt Kenseth got his last win. Edwards won 2 races in 2015 and 3 in 2016, so you'd imagine he'd probably be in that range again. Whether he'd win a championship or not is all up to Homestead, but with Truex nearly being unbeatable, I'm gonna give the edge to the 78 that year. Interestingly though, Edwards and JGR's deal was 3 years, and it would have been up at the end of 2017. But with Matt Kenseth being the elder guy getting pushed out, for Daniel Suarez this time instead of Eric Jones, I think that Jones stays with Furniture Row, and I think after that, Edwards signs back on for 3 years with JGR. Furniture Row adds another butterfly effect to this. See, their last season was 2018 in NASCAR, in our timeline at least, as JGR jacked up their rates by 300% and virtually ended the team. But with a driver that they worked on in the development program like Eric Jones and an elite driver like Martin Truex Jr. in the 78 that Toyota would not want to lose, and the full in at the flagship team, I see Toyota basically prolonging the inevitable with the rate raise. And at this point, Levine Family Racing's 95 was still a Chevy team in 2017, and they may have been added on in 2018 instead of 2019 like they were in real life. But at the moment, I say the status quo would be kept. Edwards' 3-year deal also means he'd be in the 19 car through 2020, where he'd be 41 years old by the end of his contract. Over this time, though, there'd be plenty of time for him to win. 2018 was a dominant year for Toyota, for instance. Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. were 2 of the big 3 that season, and there's no way to think that Edwards doesn't eat into those wins, at least in some amount. Maybe for all 3 of the big 3. In 2018 and 2019, he'd be probably a championship contender and would win 3 to 4 races in each season. But what changes everything in this time is that the implementation of the 2019 season's 550 package would change a lot. This package, during its run, was controversial for both fans and drivers alike, and the old guard especially was miffed by this. And this is why I don't see Edwards making it past the end of his contract at 2020. A big reason why many think Edwards quit was due to NASCAR's meddling towards entertainment. And that's not hard to see, as he had the 2016 championship in the bag before a BS debris caution, followed by his desperation move that the system basically forces drivers to do, ruined his season, and in many ways his legacy at the altar of entertainment. And it was rumored as well that he hated the implementation of stage racing, which there are 2 clues or reasons why this rumor could be a valid one. First is the stage racing announcement was right after his retirement announcement. And honestly, the announcement was odd in and of itself. Usually the way that NASCAR announced things back then that were changes was that Brian France's puffy red face would ramble on in front of the media and get softball questions about it. But this one had all of the top brass of NASCAR, top team owners, all the guys from the networks, and drivers as a united front, almost like they needed to convince the industry that they were still in charge. But the biggest way his disdain for stage racing was shown was in 2012, when Bruton Smith actually brought up the idea before it was even really in the modern talk.
Let's just start at the beginning. Let me just lay something out here for you guys. Is it everyone in this room, is it your understanding that when they throw the green flag, right, that the only reason another flag is going to come out, like a yellow one or a red one, before that checkered flag comes out, if there's a condition on the racetrack that is unsafe to continue the race? Is that what everybody understands? If we start getting away from that and we say, okay, halfway through the race, we're going to throw a caution, we're all going to line back up. Well, now it's 2 races. Or where the first race doesn't even matter. You know, now you just got a shorter race. The lead in basketball is a figurative one. It's a score. So it's as if you stop the quarter in basketball and then you even the score. In racing, I go out there and I gain an advantage. Maybe not this track, but at most tracks, I gain a big advantage. That caution erases that advantage. It's my opinion, my humble opinion. I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but it's my opinion that takes something away from the sport.
Now, as far as his career overall and how it's extended, I don't see him getting a championship. In my opinion, this was just never meant to be, no matter how long he raced. The racing gods, NASCAR, and everything else just wouldn't allow it. Career-wise, I do think he'd have at least 10 extra wins added to his total in the 4-year span that it extended. That'd give him around 38 to 40 career wins, putting him in the same conversations as greats like Mark Martin and Matt Kenseth, which was pretty fitting being a former Roush driver. As for JGR and Toyota as a whole, the picture blurs. Obviously, the 11 and the 18 stay the same with Hamlin and Busch, but the 19 and 20 I think would be different. I say that from 2019 to 2020, Toyota and Gibbs pull the trigger on major changes. Suarez is booted out of the 20, and in his place would be Truex. DeWalt moves to Edwards and the 19 in a bigger deal as Bass Pro Shops comes aboard. The reason Truex is at JGR, though, is due to JGR pulling the 300% move on Furniture Row finally. Eric Jones would move over to be the initial driver at Toyota's new team that would start a year early, 2311 Racing. And with Edwards out of the 19 in 2021, that season would open up to be the rookie campaign for Christopher Bell. From there, 2021 and 2022 I see being pretty much the same, just same people in different places. But as for Edwards, without a title, the biggest change to his career would be a sense of closure for his fans. Now, with that, I'm going to pass this on to you. What do you think happens if Carl Edwards doesn't retire from NASCAR in 2017? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.